Hi friends, in this video I'm going to explain about installing Docker engine onto our Linux virtual machine. Before we get into the installation, let's try to understand what is Docker, what is it, and why we need to use the Docker, and how does it work. And then we'll also take a look at the different components that are there as part of the Docker, and then we'll see the installation of Docker engine. We'll see about the Docker. What is a Docker? Basically, a Docker is a tool which provides an open platform for developing, shipping, and running application independent of the infrastructure, independent of the hardware, we could say. So this actually finds its application in the development environment as well as the operations environment. So what happens in generally is basically the application that got developed by the developer would not get to run in the tester's environment because of different dependencies on the infrastructure and the differences in the infrastructure or the hardware. So things may not work as they are intended to be, and this is why Docker is being used. It's a very lightweight container that can run all the application efficiently without having any dependencies on the environment. Let's see there are why only Docker. So can we not use any other methods? Yes, we can use virtual machines to do this job. But again, the problem with the virtual machine, as shown in this picture, is basically we have this virtual machine running in basically the onto the hypervisor, and it will have a lot of space. It will occupy a lot of space, and we will end up having allocating a specific virtual machine for each of these applications, and you will have a problem with the boot up time, and you will have issues with scalability and lots of disadvantages. You will have it with the virtual machine. In case of basically in case of the container or the Docker method, you will have the Docker engine. On top of it, we have all the containers that can independently run more efficiently than the virtual environment scenario. Okay, so that's why Docker is most preferred. Let's try to understand how does it work. So there are it works in a client and server architecture. The server will actually will take care of running the basically the containers and distributing the containers and building the containers. So client is the one that initiates the running the containers and things like that. When I say container, what is it? Container is the one that it's an instance of Docker. So I'll get to that in a minute. So before that, we'll also see the registry. So the registries are the ones that are there, which will have all the Docker images stored in a repository. So these Docker images can be pulled, and then it can be utilized. And when we try to run these Docker image, it will run in the Docker engine as a separate container, isolated from different applications. So that's the beauty of this. Let's get to see the Docker container. Docker container is nothing but running a Docker image is called the Docker container. So to run a Docker image, the Docker images are present in the repositories that I have told you already. So Docker image can be built using a file called Docker file. Docker file will be a simple script file. So when we run this, it'll pull the required image, and it'll build the Docker container, and it'll start running it. So that's how the container would run. Okay, now we can directly get into the installation steps. So the first step is basically to get into the docs.docker.com, which is the official site from where we can do all the steps. So I'm going to take there are many different installation methods. I'm going to pick up the install using apt repository method. The first first step is to install the Docker's apt repository. So the steps are given here. So I'm going to copy each of these steps one after another onto my Linux. This is my Linux. I've taken the SSH window for me to quickly copy and paste of the Linux machine. This is the SSH window of the Linux machine. So I'm going to give this message. This is in a command sudo apt get update. So this is actually updating my Ubuntu with the latest packages. So that's the first step. Second step is to install the curl package, and the command to install the curl package is sudo apt-get install ca certificates curl. So once this is done, so I can give that command. Looks like it might take a little more time. I will have to pause this and I'll get back. Folks, the update is now completed. Now let's start with the next command, which is to install the CA certificates and the curl. So I'm going to paste it. So that's done, and I need to give some permissions. I need to create a directory and I need to give some permissions as per the command. Let me give this. That is done, and that's also done. That's done, and need to add the repository. That too is done. Finally, I need to give again apt-get update. That's also done. So that completes the first step. Let's now get into the second step of installing the Docker packages, and the command to do that is to copy this. You can also use this copy and paste this. that's done. Okay, now guys, we have now installed the Docker engine. Let's now see whether the Docker is working perfectly by uh, pulling an image, sample image, Docker image from the GitHub. This command would do that for us. Let's try giving that and check whether it works fine. So you can see the first message is unable to find message, which means this Docker image is not currently located. So it is pulling it from the Git repository, the hello world Docker image. It's now pulled and it is showing the output of the default Docker image that is using this command. And now we can also see the list of Docker images that are there in this system. That is by giving the command sudo docker images. Now you can see there's a Docker image by name hello-world. So this is the Docker image that it has pulled from the Git repository and it has executed it, and we have done that using docker run. So, and we are seeing this message hello from Docker. This message shows that the installation appears to be working correctly and things like that. Yeah, so this brings our presentation, our installation complete. And now if you find this presentation useful, please give it a like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.